It's just Bruce, he don't bite. Hello.
Hello, Star Wars fans, and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about newbies, new people, and when I say newbies, I don't mean that to be disrespectful. I always thought that term was disrespectful, but it's about new people getting into collecting, getting online, and dealing with these other collectors, stuff they don't know. And the reason I'm doing this video is I have been collecting for a long time. I'm on the internet. I have have my eBay channel, and I buy and sell stuff too. I'm experienced, and I know my stuff. I don't call myself an expert, but I do know my stuff. There's been a lot of people lately getting online trying to collect Star Wars vintage figures, which is what I specialize into. And when they and it might even go with other collections too. People to collect other things. I'm not really sure. But they jump on these groups on Facebook specifically, and they get treated like dirt because they don't know the lingo, they don't understand, so they're asking questions that, to someone like me, I already know, but, I'm going to treat them with respect, but these Facebook groups are treating them like dirt, like they're, like, completely stupid. So that's why I made this video. I'm going to show you guys a little bit of what, specifically the anagrams mean, because that's what somebody had a problem with. And now my furnace just kicked on, so I'm going to pause and I will continue when the furnace is off because I'm in my basement and it's really cold down here. Okay, yes, so that's that. The furnace makes a big noise down here. And during the summer, I got the air conditioner off. I could turn the air conditioner on or the air conditioner off, but then it gets hot as hell down here. So either way, I can't win. Anyway, furnace is off. Continuing. I hope you guys all had a great Christmas. I had a blast for Christmas. My family came over. I got to see both my daughters, my stepson, his girlfriend, a bunch of friends. Our house was actually packed, and I was psyched about it. It just hit me on a good day. I was just feeling like being sociable, and we had fun. And the best part about it is I, Chef Bruce, didn't have to cook. My wife cooked the whole dinner herself because I did Thanksgiving. So, all right, with that said, you don't want to talk about that. New collectors, people on the internet, new people that don't know these things. I want to show you and tell you what these are. And we all had to learn them at some point in time, especially the experienced collectors. And like I said, I go on these Facebook groups. Like I'll go on the Imperial Commissary. I'm not going to rip on the Imperial Commissary. They've been a great help to me, and I help them out once in a while too. But they use a lot of terms that new people just simply don't understand. But we all take it for granted that everybody knows it. We don't, or they don't. There's another group that is trying to be like the Imperial Commissary, and I'm not going to mention them. You might have found it. They've gotten a lot of members over the past 2 months when they didn't start that long ago. The problem is there are a bunch of gatekeepers that are just they're just rude to people. I mean, but with that said, the new people are coming in there, and that's where I'm seeing it. I'm seeing people treat new people like lepers, like they don't belong. I mean, I know what I really want to say, but it'll get me booted off YouTube. So without going on and on, I made my point. Here's what some of those anagrams mean. If you don't know what an anagram is, anagram. I stutter over my words every time. Get used to it. An anagram is a group of letters that means a thing, like CPR, cardiopulmonary resuscitation. Hey, I did that without stuttering. Yeah, that's an anagram, CPR. These anagrams are in relation to toy collecting. So let's go on. The first one, MOC. You might see MOC pop up a lot. MOC means mint on card, and that's usually applies to action figures. It means you're getting an action figure that has never been opened that is still on the card that it came with, whether it's Star Wars or G.I. Joe or anything. Mint on card. There's also MOSC, which not a lot of people use it, but it's there. It means mint on sealed card, which means it's a sealed card that's never been opened. Yeah. Carded, by the way, since I said card, a carded figure is something that's still on a card. Or maybe it was recarded with, sometimes people will recard their action figures, so you got to be careful on that. But carded means your action figure, or little ships do it too. Hot Wheels, good example. Hot Wheels is a good example if you're not a Star Wars person. Hot Wheels on a card. They come in that little card, and you got to break open a bubble and play with your toy. Carded means it's still on a card. MIB. It is not Men in Black, which is a really cool movie. It's Mint in Box. And that would apply to maybe a game or a ship or something like that. But Mint in Box. Of course, loose means it's a loose figure or a loose toy, something that's not in box. It's just something that has been played with, probably used a lot, or maybe just opened up and displayed, but it doesn't have packaging with it. That's an easy one, loose. I'm sure you probably already know that one. A knockoff or a bootleg is something that was made somewhere else just to kind of copy the genre of toys you're collecting. It's not the real deal. It's like, I used to know this. Instead of I'm going to go back to Star Wars because Star Wars is what I know. Instead of like Star Wars, it might say like Space Wars or something like that. It's not Star Wars, but it's some other company trying to copy and ride on the coattails of George Lucas. So you want to be careful for that. Bootleg is pretty self-explanatory if you know what. And there goes text. I get a text message every time I do a video. I love it. My phone could be quiet for hours, and then as soon as I do a video, I get a text message. All right, next up. This one hasn't really come up that much. It says it'll say remolded or resculpted. It's basically on a custom figure or a custom toy where they'll take the original toy and they will sculpt it or resculpt it and make it into something else with a different style. Like, I don't know. You could see a character that's an action figure from a movie, but the action figure wasn't quite exact as the movie character. So somebody will copy it. They'll maybe resin cast it like I do, and they'll paint it differently, make it more movie accurate. It's not really an original. It's kind of iffy, but that's what that means. A repaint. If it says repaint, I think that's kind of plain and simple, but that's actually a specific one that I saw another person jump down somebody's throat for saying. Repaint means you got an action figure that might not look so good, and you touched up the paint a little bit. That's what repaint means. Or it could go a completely different direction and be like one of these guys where I took this is one that I made. It's not a real one. But I took a blue snaggletooth, and I wonder what would happen if I made him into a red snaggletooth. That would be a repaint for a different character, one we didn't get. Okay, what's next? Grading. Grading is when and usually it's only the hardcore collectors that do this. Nothing wrong with that. If that's what you're into, hey, go for it. But they take their toy and they send it away to what's called a grading company. And the company will grade it on its condition. They'll put it in a clear box, so it displays nicely and dot. And like a good grading would be like a 90, a bad grading would be like a 10. I personally don't believe in the grading thing, but I collect differently than most. So the grading is kind of, if it's something you're really into, if you really want like really nice figures, toys, whatever, then the grading might be for you. For me, I collect a little bit differently, but that's what grading means, basically. This is an easy one. Articulation. It basically means how many joints move on the action figure that you're planning on buying or that you own. Here's just to grab one. This has 5 points of articulation. 2 shoulders, 2 legs, and then the head. And that's 5. There's like ridiculous amounts of articulation on some newer figures. I don't have one sitting here where I'd show you. But yeah, especially the more modern figures, which is good, but that's what articulation means. Now, when it comes to buying and trading online, these next ones I'm going to give you, they're all anagrams. They're very important. This is something you're going to need to know. Simplest one, FS, for sale. I don't know why they don't just type out for sale and make it easy, but, we're nerds. We just like to do things differently. FT/TT, for trade to trade. I haven't seen that very often, but I've used it myself. For trade to trade. So I have this to trade me your thing, and we'll do it that way with no money changing hands. WTB is want to buy. You show a picture of, I don't know, an X-Wing. Well, anything you want. Show a picture of it and put WTB. And then hopefully somebody will contact you and you get the toy you want. WTT, same thing as WTB. WTT, give you a second to guess that one. Want to trade. Same thing. Show a picture of something, and I want to trade this. So, and then hopefully someone will want to trade something really cool for it. I've used that in the past too. On the other side, NFS. If you're just talking about your collection, or maybe you have a question about, what's up with this toy, or maybe how much it's worth, or whatever you're going to post. NFS, not for sale, and that's kind of an etiquette thing. If you're going to post something like that, you should probably put in your post NFS. And all the experienced collectors know that means not for sale. You can put, and there's another one, I never really see it used, but it's NFS/NFT. Not for sale, not for trade. NFS is usually just fine. So just go ahead and use that. Now, like I said, I mostly do Star Wars collecting. So, I might do an anagram of May the Force be with you, which is MTFBWY. I'm sorry, dude. It's been a long day. May the Force be with you. It's a long one. If you're not really paying attention, you're not really going to catch it. But some of the more complicated ones are brands. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. TMNT. A lot of people don't know that. There are so many that we're using in the brands and stuff like that. Mine are more geared towards Star Wars, of course. I'm going to go through these as quickly as I can. And you all can laugh at me and say how much I stutter. Or forget some. Okay. HAS, Hasbro. MAT, Mattel. KEN, Kenner. TB, Toy Biz. That's an old one. If you know that one, I'm really surprised. TRU, Toys R Us, which you don't see that anymore. SW, Star Wars. Under Star Wars, you got ANH, A New Hope. ESB, Empire Strikes Back. ROTG, see, I told you I was going to stutter. ROTJ, Return of the Jedi. EP1, Episode 1. ROTS, Revenge of the Sith. CW, Clone Wars. POTF, Power to Force. POTJ, Power to Jedi. SOTE, Shadows of the Empire. And it just goes on and on and on. And it goes in other collecting circles too. You're just going to have to figure it out. Think of it as a game. Think of it as a game. I got to figure out what these anagrams mean. And if you're going to collect, you kind of need to know these anagrams. Like, I'm a Star Wars guy. That's why I know the Star Wars ones. You can go into like Marvel Universe, which is MU. That's an easy one. DC Universe, DCU. That kind of stuff. I did save the last anagram for a reason. And it's a very easy anagram if you're a collector and you know. But if you don't know, you don't know. And that anagram is COO, Ku, which means country of origin. Now, on Star Wars figures, you can find it usually right here. I just picked this one up. I know it's not a real Star Wars figure, but just as an example, it's right here. It'll see Mexico, Taiwan, that kind of stuff. Country of origin. And the reason I saved that to last is that's the one that irritated me when I went on this other group. Not the Imperial Commissary, the other group that's trying to be like them. They are jumping down everybody's throat. Anytime somebody asks a question or says the wrong thing, they're jumping down their throat, making fun of the person, chasing them away. Don't chase people away from the hobby. Let people collect the way they want to collect. Live and let live. There's so many different types of collectors. I've been over this before on other videos that I've made. I'm the kind of collector that I like to play with my stuff. It reminds me of being 10 years old again, where I can just woo-saw all the stress away and I'll play with my toys or look at my toys, whatever. The last video I did, I blew up a bunch of toys in the backyard with firecrackers just so I could feel like I was 10 again. And you're welcome to watch that video, of course. Anyway, if you ever have any questions about being a newbie, don't be afraid to ask me, because I'm not going to judge you. I'm going to take it by the hand and say, look, this is this, this is this, this is this. Because all of us had to learn this at one point in time. We weren't just born with this knowledge. And I'm not an expert, but I'm up there. But, you know, if you're feeling disrespected in your group or whatever on Facebook, leave the group. There's other groups around. Or get a private group locally like I do. We have a private group, physical group, where I actually get to talk to people, like-minded people around my age. I'm a Gen Xer. People my age, we all have collections and stuff like that, and we all feel the same way, because we definitely outnumber the extremists, I guess you could say. We all collect our own way. All right, hey guys, Happy New Year. I hope you had a good Christmas, and I will work on a better video. I actually have a really good idea coming up. I'm researching. I'm studying my history. If you get time, go to Jenner Custom Toys on eBay and see what I have to offer. And I'll catch you later. Bye.
Star Wars, da-da-da, Star Wars, da-da-da, Star Wars, da-da-da, Wars, dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.